So as we look at USC heading into 2018, obviously this early signing period, Chris, uh, was a different dynamic for everyone across the board. Preparing for a bowl game with USC, one of the few teams in college football that had to prepare for a championship game, and then that sizing down the window of time to close on some of these deals with these early signees. But despite the numbers not being there in quantity, it's an extremely impressive class.
This USC signed 10 players in the early signing period, and I think that was something that they need to do. They kind of filled up the class a little bit, and they don't have a big class this year overall. So they're right at the edge right now with scholarship numbers, and I think that they looked at this early signing period and said, we need to address certain needs and bring these guys in and make sure that they're in. And they did that. They addressed the defensive line well, I believe, by adding a JUCO defensive tackle and Caleb Tremblay. Cornerback, they addressed with Chase Williams. So they did some things that I really liked in the early signing period. Obviously, they locked up, most of their commits that they had already had, all Justin Dedich and the 5-star linebacker, from Bishop Gorman's, and Raymond Scott, the other linebacker, which was another need that they needed to address in this class. So I thought they did a really good job on this early signing period of kind of just addressing the needs and getting close to filling the class up. And now they just really have a few more guys to sign, in February before their class is pretty much complete. So I liked what they did in December. And I think that there's a chance that they finish really strong in February. It just kind of depends on how many spots they have open from transfers and the NFL draft at this point.
Yeah, so some of those hard commits that you're talking about, you're extremely confident that they will be signed, that they're not out there to pick and choose and still looking at other schools.
I think the ones that USC wants for sure are hard commits. I think like Amon-Ra St. Brown just announced at the Army game. He's not signed. It'd be absolutely shocking. I would feel like almost impossible if he went somewhere else at this point. I think that a couple of the other guys that aren't signed, maybe USC, doesn't have room for them at the end of the day, or maybe there's another option that they end up getting, that home run option that they didn't expect. It's just hard to tell right now because right now they have, I believe, 3 scholarships to give out. Obviously, they want to take more than 3 guys. They just obviously got a commit from Amon-Ra St. Brown. JT Daniels is going to be in the 2018 class. They have, 2 more defensive linemen committed after them. So it's going to be a tight squeeze at the end of the day. But I think if they have room for everybody that's unsigned, they're going to come in. And then there's going to be a couple other guys that maybe they have a shot at as well. It's just that numbers game. We're waiting to see who declares and if anybody decides that it's time for them to transfer right now instead of waiting till the spring.